Hello guys, you're welcome to Solo T Tutorials. Solo T Tutorials is an educational channel that helps students in all the subjects. If it is your first time on our channel, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share our videos to help our channel to grow. Thank you. In our previous video, we discussed noun and its types. And I said, in our next discussion, we will be talking about functions of noun in a sentence. So in this video, I have taken time to explain all the functions that noun performs in a sentence, and I've listed numerous examples in order to enhance your better understanding of the functions of noun. So after watching this video, you would not need anybody to tell you that this is what a noun does in a sentence. So without wasting most of our time, let's get started. Now, aside from being a name of a person, animal, place, or thing, noun perform several functions, and in this video, I have listed 5 of them that I would like to treat. And number one is subject of a sentence. Noun perform a function as a subject of a sentence. If we look at a complete sentence must contain a subject and a verb. So what is a short subject? A subject is that name of a person, name of an animal, name of a thing that does something in the sentence, that performs an action in a sentence, that carries out the verb in that sentence. Sentences are formed with the subject being the basic of the sentence. Noun can serve as a subject when it answers the question who or what is doing the action. Like I explained, when you talk about who is doing something in a sentence, or what is doing something in a sentence, the answer to that question is automatically a noun. For instance, if you see in this example here, I say John kicked the ball. John kicked the ball. From the explanations I have given, you will be able to identify yourself who does an action in this sentence. The action here is kick, which is the verb. So who does it? Who does it? John did it. So you would know that John is a noun performing the action in this very sentence. The second sentence, you see, the sky seemed hazy. The sky seemed hazy. You see, what seemed hazy in this sentence? The sky. In example 1, kicked is the verb. John tells what kicked the ball. Therefore, John, which is the doer of the action, is the subject of the sentence. In sentence 2, seemed is a verb of being. So the sky tells you who or what is being hazy. Sky is the subject in this second sentence. So there's one thing you should note. There's one important thing you should note while looking for a subject of a sentence. The subject usually usually comes before the verb. In other words, the subject usually starts a sentence. It usually starts a sentence. So the second function of a verb, of a noun, I beg your pardon. The second function of a noun in a sentence is that of object. Yes, noun perform the function of the object in a sentence. A noun can function as direct object in sentence when it answers the following question: whom or what is receiving the action of the verb. I told you earlier that in a sentence, the subject performs an action, which I said a sentence must contain a subject and a verb. So a subject performs that action. That action is a verb. But if you look at a sentence, the sentence structure of subject, verb, and object. A sentence, an action in the sentence is usually performed against something or someone. So that which the action is performed against is what is known as an object of a sentence. If a direct object is existing in a sentence, it would normally follow the verb. It comes after the verb, in other words. In sentence one above, I've told you earlier that John kicked the ball. So if you look at this sentence, that's why I've highlighted the ball to indicate that it is the object. Why? Because the action, which is kick, has been carried out against the ball by John, who is the subject of this sentence. John is the doer of the action. The action is kicked and the action has been performed against the ball. So ball is the object of the sentence. That is to say, object is that which the action is performed against in a sentence. So the next function of a noun in a sentence is subject complement. Subject complement. What do you understand by complement? A complement is like you giving more information, more telling somebody more about someone or something. Like if you are complimenting something, you are telling more about that thing. So here it says the noun perform something. The noun perform the function of subject complement. That is to say, it tells you more about the subject of a sentence. And usually when they follow a verb of a being and answers the question who or the question what. Now let's look at the following examples. The engineer, the lady, that is the subject of the the sentence. The lady is a subject, is an engineer. Here in this sentence, we are not telling you, they are not telling you that the lady has carried out any action against anything, but they are giving you more information about the lady who is the subject of the sentence. So this word in an engineer is complimenting the lady. That is to say, it is telling you more about the lady, telling you more about the subject. So the word engineer which follows the linking verb is is the verb subject complement. It functions to rename or describe the subject lady. It also completes the meaning of the subject lady in the sentence. In the sentence above, the verb is a verb of being. Verb is being usually connect with words that follows the verb back to the subject. However, when a verb is being carries out this function, it is called a linking verb. There is a difference between an action verb and a linking verb. So here, in the case of a subject complement, it is usually the linking verb that is used. But in the case of subject performing an action against an object, it is usually the action verb that is used. We can tell that the subject complement is a noun partly because it is interchangeable with the subject. That is, the subject complement engineer could swap places with the subject lady without changing the meaning of the same thing. That is to say, you can use engineer in place of the lady, and you have used the lady and then use engineer to add more information to it. Engineer could be used in the place of a lady. So engineer could be used as a subject of the sentence. The obvious distinction between a subject and a subject complement in that is their position in their sentence. Once again, let's take a look at some of the examples here so that you better understand the point that I'm trying to make in this. The lady is an engineer. Lady is a subject. Lady equal to engineer. Engineer is the subject complement. Although the meaning of the sentence may not change drastically by swapping around the subject and subject complement, the emphasis of the sentence, which generally falls on the subject, as well as the tone of the sentence, will be changed. Now, here is an example to help you understand this better. All elites are politicians. You see, you can swap politicians to come back to you are not saying in this sentence there is no action, there is no action. It's just a verb of being that is used in these sentences. All elites are politicians. Elite is a noun. Politician is a noun. They are both talking about the same person. Like they're telling you that elites are politicians. That is to say, this politician is adding more information to the word elite. Subject is all politicians are elite. You can swap the the sentence, but even if you swap, that is I'm trying to explain the point listed up here. Even if you swap, it will not change the meaning of the whole sentence. It will not change the meaning. Obviously, the two sentences are different and the second version of the sentence is simply untrue because you can't say the all politicians are elites. You can only say all elites are politicians. But in the sense of explaining the subject complement, it's have actually been used to elaborate more on this so that it will better enhance your understanding of the subject complement. Note: usually a subject will go before the verb, but if there is a subject complement in a sentence, it must always follow a verb of being, which are is, are, and the rest. The fourth function of the the noun in a sentence is object complement. Like I have explained in the case of the subject complement. The object complement, sometimes called objective complement, is usually a noun, pronouns, or an adverb which comes after a direct object to rename or modify the direct object. Like I explained in the case of subject complement. Subject object complement gives more information about the object of that sentence. So let me quickly remind you about what I said concerning the object. I said the object of a sentence is that which the action of the sentence is taken against, that which the action is performed against. Now let's take a look at some of the examples that I have here. We met the boy yesterday. We met the boy. We met the boy. We here is a subject. Met is the verb. The boy is an object. So this yesterday is adding information, telling you when the boy was met, adding more information to this. Boy is a direct object. Yesterday is the object complement. An object complement is easily identified by its position, reference, and agreement. It is usually placed after the object and referencing the object with extra meaning. You understand? It gives more meaning. It modifies the object. It tells you more about the object. In the example we've just seen, yesterday is an adverb that comes after the direct object boy, and it gives extra details about the boy. This makes yesterday the object complement. In addition, you need to decide if the adverb is acting on the object or if the complement is renaming or describing the object. Now the last one from those that I've selected, the last one but not the least, we have noun in apposition. Noun in apposition. What do we mean by noun in apposition? When we are talking about noun in apposition, we are referring to noun, a situation whereby two nouns talks about whereby two nouns are talking about the same persons. The same persons. Noun can function as appositive. The appositive merely functions the same way the predicate nominative does, but whereas the predicate nominative renames the subject in a sentence, the appositive renames another noun in the sentence. In appositive noun, an appositive noun must follow another noun and rename that noun. That is to say, you can use the same noun, the same name, you can say use it in the place of the other noun. For instance, if you say Buhari, the president of Nigeria, is here, you are referring to one person. You can decide to say the president of Nigeria, Buhari, is here. You are talking about one person using two nouns interchangeably. So those two nouns are in apposition. Like I have explained, I said two noun in apposition is a situation whereby two nouns appearing in the same place, appearing concurrently, are talking about the same person. Now let's look at the example number one that I have here. Meet my classmate James. Classmate James. These two nouns, classmate and James, appear in the same place and they are talking about the same person. You can decide to say, you meet James, my classmate. As you have said, meet my classmate James, you can say, meet James, my classmate. James is a noun immediately following and renaming the noun classmate. It explains who the classmate is. So that is all what I'm talking about now in apposition. The example two says Buhari, the president of Nigeria, is here. So if you look at the two nouns here, Buhari and the president, they are all nouns appearing in the same place and they are referring to one person. You can switch this one. You can say president, the president Buhari is here. The president of Nigeria, Buhari, is here. So that will be all for today. So please, if you have enjoyed our videos, please share our videos. That is the only way you can help our channel to grow. Please remember to subscribe as well as share our videos. Please, we are looking forward to doing many videos. So if you can actually encourage us by sharing our videos, that will motivate us to do more. We are all learning, but we wish to help as many students as we can. So the only way you can contribute in this is by helping us to share these videos so that they will get to as many people as possible. Thanks for watching. God bless you as you do so. See you in our next video. Thank you. Love you.